I've got a whole bunch of great looking wild shaped bits here from the vitrigraph. I'm going to make a bird's nest bowl. I've just set out the 16-inch diameter ring here. That's just to act as a guide. We'll take it off before we put it in the kiln. So we just start by pulling out a whole lot of interesting shapes, whatever we have, and just lay them down, kind of freestyle all over the place, whatever looks like it's interesting. Just bits of here, we'll throw some red stuff on top of it, whatever fits. Whole idea is to get some interesting twists and curves and variation of form. The more erratic the better. This would really looks great with these vitrigraph bowls that we just get a whole lot of crazy stuff. So, yeah, maybe a little bit of black. So, I love making these things because you just messing around. It's sort of like three-dimensional pickup sticks. Alright, just finishing it up. Love the color combination. I think the red, the white, and the black is just really cool. And I don't have to worry about the way some of these pieces are standing up all over the place because I'm going to fire this to a tack fuse. They'll all flatten out and we'll get a really great looking little bird's nest bowl. Oh, there it is, ready to go into the kiln. Here's a bunch of stringers that I made with a vitrigraph, all different colors. Some of them are really quite straight, some of them have a slight variance, a little bit of curvature to them. This is going to make this more interesting because I'm going to do a thatched weave project. This is a good time to show everybody what happens if you let one of those pieces of hot glass slap against your hand. See my owie? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix all of these together. I want all of these colors randomized so that there's as much variety as is possible in all of them. So I'll just pick some at random here and just start laying them out. I've cut all of these to 12 inches long. You can do whatever size you like. It really makes no difference. I just for convenience I like to do this. And some of them that I'm breaking as I'm handling them, I'll just set them aside. I've got all kinds of other uses for these. I know in my classes I have students that love it when they can get access to all of these bits of stringers to play with. You see, some of these have got a really interesting curvature to them, and on these thatched projects it's that curvature that really makes them interesting. So I'm going to purposely really want to mix these colors around. I want to get as much random as I can. I've just laid this one out just as a guide for how wide I want this to be. And I could use a straight edge and get a nice clean straight edge on this, but I kind of like that it's going to be a little bit ragged. Looks to me a little bit more authentic, a little bit more like legitimate weaving when it's random. And I'm just making a bit of a, what I call a swag, sophisticated wild ass guess as to, this is about half of the stringers that I have, and then I'm just going to put the other half scattered around in the other direction, just going over top of them. Don't have to be overly careful. I'll take out any that are a little undersized and just scatter them out and roll them out. The whole idea of this particular kind of a tray is to make it very freestyle, very random. Got a really nice, very ragged look to this, which is exactly the effect that I wanted. We'll just lay these last few pieces on. Fun thing about this is it really doesn't matter what direction, because now I'm going to take all of these, I'll put this in the kiln, and I'll fire it to a tack fuse. Then decide whether I'm going to drape it or slump it into some kind of a form. But there it is, ready to go into the kiln. Here's the plaster on ceramic fiber blanket mold. There's the Thatch project. I'm going to set that on that and fire it in the kiln. Here's the finished thatched weave out of that mold that I made using the ceramic blanket with the plaster on it. Just a nice fun look. Gives it a really, it's an organic pattern, and this gives it an organic texture.